You gotta think about it. Think about it.
Shopping for the names you can really trust, it's so easy. Want to pay less? Well, you know you can just take it easy. Argos makes life easy for you. Choose at home, that's what you do. Take it easy. It's so easy. Looking for a gift and you want the best? Take it easy. A simple way to shop, come and put it to the test. It's so easy. Argos cuts the cost for you. The catalog's free and easy to take it easy. It's so easy.
Pick up the new free Argos catalogue now.
It's so easy.
Hey guys and girls, welcome back. It's the Retro Edcast, episode 8, I do believe. Thanks as always. Cheers for the support. Had a few photos of the last couple of weeks, which put a smile on my face. A few people listening to the podcast in goddamn vehicles. It's on Spotify and Apple, in case you didn't know already. So that's been pretty cool to see. We've had a picture of someone playing an episode of it on a TV in a department store in Bosnia. The guy's a legendary viewer, and he actually heads up the electrical section in the shop within the store. So every now and again he'll send me a picture, normally of my embarrassing face, one of my YouTube videos being played there. But this time round it was the podcast, so that was great to see. So you know who you are, so cheers, pal. Talking of lovely listeners, stroke viewers, we've got the mega fab Vaughan, aka the Sick Doctor, which must be a Colin Baker Doctor Who reference, surely. He's sent in an advert they'd like playing, so we'll pop that on in a second. It's a theme park, one I hadn't heard of. Next kind of county along from me in Margate, so it's in Kent. The BEMBOM brothers. So anyone outside of the UK shores, Margate is a coastal town in the southeast of the UK. But it's not a million miles away from where I live. I've actually went down there years and years ago when the Nintendo Wii was released, and as always, I missed the original one, and then the scalpers or whoever flooding eBay. I managed to get one for an okay price, and the seller was in Margate, so I think that was the last time I went there. But back in, I think it was 1988 this video is from. The BEMBOM brothers theme park was very much open, and Vaughan, the Sixth Doctor, I think he kind of yearned to go, but it just never happened. So let's have a look and take a listen.
Breathtaking stuff. BEMBOM Brothers Margate. Pay once and all the rides are free all day. Ask at the local station for the combined train and mission ticket to BEMBOM Brothers Margate.
Cheers for that, Vaughan. Sounds like the kind of place that I would have loved to have gone also. And as always, folks, please message, comment if you've got any segments to throw in. It could be adverts, promotions for your own events, or just something plain silly, or all of the above. So get involved, and Bootleg John will love you for life. So I've been hitting the cinema even more than normal. The last couple of weeks I've been there, at least maybe three times or so. Went to see Paddington 3 with the family, which was good, and then I went back for Ghostbusters 2, and I've got to say it was way better than I remember. Don't think I've seen it in quite some time. If I do rewatch the classics, I tend to go back to the first of any of them. So obviously typically in this case it would just be like Ghostbusters, but having seen the sequel again in the cinema setting, and it was cool, but there's loads of people dressed up. There's even someone dressed up as the Statue of Liberty, and Lady Liberty, she plays a fairly significant role in the film. But people who dressed up as the Ghostbusters. There was all sorts going down, and I wasn't dressed up. I was just wearing my standard fare. But it was cool. There was lots of probably people of kind of my generation, all very similar age, but just there to enjoy the film. But I think everyone thought it was a lot of fun. The original gang is back in this one. Some really cool comedy, particularly from Bill Murray. I've got lots of time for Bill Murray. Really nice to see Rick Moranis's character. Is it Lewis? Maybe a bit more of him in this one, and his little love interest with Janine, the receptionist. So that was cool. I thought it was nice, a bit of a creepy build up with the baddie. I might be wrong, but on reflection, perhaps it was a little bit more sinister than the first film. A couple of jump scares I'd completely forgotten about. I know in the original one, obviously the big jump scares right at the front with the librarian, but in this one, there was a couple of moments, and that was cool. Music as always. I mean, it's like a proper banging 80s soundtrack, I'm sure, with the likes of I'm trying to think who was in it. Bobby Brown, New Edition, and I think a bit of a remastering of the Ray Parker Jr. like the soundtrack as well. It sounded a bit different, so it was cool. Maybe I need to grab that soundtrack at some point. But it did, as I was going through, I thought, you know what, this is some decent tunes, a lot of fromage frais, a lot of cheesy cheese, but it was all good. So saw Ghostbusters 2, and then staying in the spirit of sequels, I went to see Gladiator 2, and I think with Gladiator 2, I don't know how to sum it up, it's almost a bit the sequel that wasn't really asked for. It seemed to come out of the blue. I'm not a massive, I love watching my films, but I don't really kind of read or research or know really what's coming up or what's being filmed or what's being produced. It's kind of the first I tend to hear about it is when the advert or appears on the telly or on the internet or in the cinema. So I wasn't really aware of this one up until probably a few weeks ago, and albeit perhaps it wasn't needed, it was really a good, in my opinion, decent bit of entertainment. Definitely served better. One of those definitely served better at the cinema, on the big screen. Would I want to, would I got that much into it watching at home? Probably would have been okay, but it wouldn't have had the same impact on our moderate sized telly versus the cinema. Loads of action, loads of, with wars going on from the onset. There's some big set pieces, which is nice. The obvious Colosseum settings, which is cool. Longish film. It was like a Monday evening. I don't think it started till it was about 8 o'clock, and I think when we got out after the trailers and all of that, I just think it was gone. It was gone 11. So probably a good maybe 2.5 hours when you kind of bake in trailers and the rest of it. But it didn't feel that long a film. So obviously clearly that's a good sign. I'll keep it spoiler free, but the link to the original film I thought was a very obvious one, and when it's kind of eventually formally revealed, it didn't really feel like a reveal. It's like, okay, yeah, we knew that quite a bit earlier on in the film, but it didn't kind of distract from it, but I just thought, okay, it is what it is. Actor wise, Denzel Washington on top form, but then arguably, when is that guy not on top form? He was superb. I thought Pedro Pascal played his role well. So he was one of the generals, General Cassius. So fairly main character in it. I'll be honest, when I saw him on the billing, on the lineup, I thought, I'm going to be drawing some Mandalorian comparisons. Did he do Narcos as well? I think he just has done a few things, hasn't he? But it felt quite standalone, quite distinct in how he was playing the character, which was good. And I thought I did think he was excellent. And I can't remember the names of I didn't jot them down, but there's the two emperors at the time, kind of co-emperors. They're twin emperors, basically ruling Rome or the Empire, and they were, nicely despicable, pretty bloody horrible, both of them. So that was cool. The lead role, Paul Mescal, and he built like a brick poo house to a certain degree, but when he was fighting other people in the arenas or anywhere, they were so much bigger than him, so he did look a bit more feeble than anyone he fought. So it wasn't, not completely unbelievable, but at times I thought it may have looked a bit odd, but maybe it's the whole David and Goliath kind of syndrome. But yeah, it did look a little odd from time to time. I think, talking of odd, some of the setups in the Colosseum I thought were very far-fetched, and I'm not a man of history. I thought it was a set of lessons I wasn't overly excited by at school, I'll be honest. That and geography. So my knowledge of the Roman Empire isn't all that. But I mean, there's one scene, I think it's kind of shown in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but pretty much the Colosseum bluntly has been filled up with water to look like a bathtub, and there's like sharks swimming around in it, and then they're having a bit of a ship battle while this is going on. But so I thought that was, did that happen really? I'm sure I would have seen I don't know, a few more illustrations. Someone would have spoken about it. It would have seen it before. It felt a little, unless there was a degree of truth somewhere, and that they had maybe some, like, I don't know, some small naval battles that were forced, but to like bring in sharks and animals was, water. It felt a bit odd. But in summary, a few quibbles. But I've got to say, I still enjoyed it. I'd recommend it more so at the cinema. I mean, I won't be going out my way to watch it at home, and I won't. Albeit, let's get physical in terms of getting the more DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. This isn't one I'd kind of touch unless in a few years' time, if that physical media is still going strong and second hand, it's around, I can grab it for a small amount of euro pennies, then I'll do just that. But yeah, I mean, everything seems to be a sequel at the Mo. We've got Moana 2 is out. I think it's out today or the weekend that I'm filming this, and then later on is it next month? I think it's in December. Sonic 3. It's come out. I think it might be the end of December, late 24. So yeah. But looking forward to both of those. Should be good. But I'll let you know on a future episode. But I'm still, I'm not done with the cinema yet. There are a few festival film showings going on at the Cineworld. Probably, not dissimilar from other cinema chains. Cineworld, they're doing tickets or showings for £5 a ticket. So I've sorted a few tickets for myself and the boy. We're going to go and see Gremlins. It's the first one. We're going to see Nightmare Before Christmas. Bloody love that. And Home Alone. And all three of those films he adores, particularly the last two. So and he's never seen them. He's too young to have seen them at the cinema. So yeah, I think I saw Nightmare Before Christmas. Pretty sure I saw that when it came out at the cinema. I've never seen Home Alone at the cinema, so that'll be a bit different. Will be cool. I've been playing a few video games. I did pick up, it was a Black Friday sale or just an ongoing sale that seems to happen with Sony and probably Microsoft and Nintendo and all the others. But for the PS5, I picked up a digital version. Don't shoot me, it was cheap. A digital version of the Contra collection. So, I mean, it's got a whole array of games on there. Probably 6 or 7 games, perhaps, going through. Blooming heck, most of the series, including, is it Contra Hardcore, which is the Mega Drive / Genesis one, which I've never played, and I think it's costs an arm and a leg now, so quite a nice one to play. The only one that I picked up, and I'm being a bit, I don't know, geeky methodical with it, is the Super Pro Protector. Obviously the kind of Super Nintendo, SNES, Super Famicom version. So Super Pro Protector for us over here in this side of the world, but in the US, this was Contra 3, Alien Wars, and just kind of working my way through it, trying to get good, and to be honest, having some fun. I'm going to try and, let's say, complete it. I really want to ideally complete it, but it just feels like a target that's way too far out. But just try and crunch through, get a few levels done, be able to get to a position where I can get through the first level unscathed. That'll be really nice. But I'm perhaps a way off now. I'm a bloody amateur with these games, but it is enjoyable, and it is a great game sure everyone has probably played it that's listening, stroke watching. But if you haven't, then get stuck in. It can be played for, it's very accessible game, easy to get hold of, but albeit very hard. It's fair in my opinion, and the controls are very precise and accurate. So there's a lot going on. It's very easy to die, but with the strategies, with learning how to get good, you can overcome it. It's certainly not, it's not an impossible game, but it's one that requires some practice. But very, very enjoyable. It's a bit of that. Kind of a bit modern. It's a revamped game. This next one. So this week, myself and the boy have been playing a bit of Epic Mickey on the PS5. So it is a revamp of the Wii version, or I think they call it a rebrush. Oh, that's so funny. The Disney folks, a rebrush of the original. And I've got the original one. And I think the Wii version, from memory, is fairly decent. I think some of the camera angles, some of the controls did make it perhaps a little tougher than it needed to be. But through this revamp, it certainly looks a hell of a lot slicker. It plays very well. 3D platformer, in case you didn't know. But early days or early hours, but so far so good. Fairly steepish difficulty level. You got the map, you got the directions of the objectives where you need to go. So in some respects, it's quite linear. Yet when it comes to the gameplay and the mechanics, for example, the jumps, you need to time them quite well. But you're never really penalised. You never go right back to the start. It might take you back a little bit, but nothing. You're not restarting a stage or anything like that. And you've got oodles of hearts and energy, which kind of replenishes. But it's good. But essentially you've got. It's like I said, it's 3D platformer. You find this magic paintbrush, and you use it to build things within the stage. So for example, completing a bridge so that you can get to another area or another platform, or you can use the opposite. You've got the paint thinner, so you're using the trigger buttons on the PS5 controller to do it. If you do the thinner, then that's obviously it's removing things, deleting, erasing, which you can use on things like enemies, but you can also use it on the landscape as well, perhaps to get to secret areas, or get around obstacles that are or get through obstacles that are in your way. So it's a good game. It was on the Black Friday, so I did get the physical version, but I got it through Amazon, and it hasn't long been out, but it was quite a chunky reduction. I thought, what, I quite like the look of that, and my son can play it as well, so it's a win-win. So that was that on the Evercade. A few releases. So there's two in particular that I'm interested in that have literally just landed through the doorstep. So the Toaplan collections 3 and 4, the Kart 3. So 7 games on this one. Just having a look at it. So you've got like Batsugan, Outzone. Outzone's a super shooter. A few vibes of like Ikari Warriors, but in my opinion, the level design is way more interesting, and the enemies, there's a lot more going on. First played it, in fact, with Steve, 9EG, 911 Gaming, at the Arcade Club in Blackpool, and then earlier this year, perhaps in the summer, Scott Sega Zombie, he had it on at his gaff. I think he's got like an Astro City, like a Sega cab, and it was playing there. So I had another go of it, and it's a cracking game. But the karts, it's got a few other games on it. It's got the most of the others I don't think I've played, like the Truxton sequel, for example. And then on the fourth kart, there's 6 games on there. I think there's 2 I recognise that I have played. So Snow Bros 2, the bloody sequel, and Sky Shark. But the others I haven't. There's one in particular, Knuckle Bash. Looks like a one-on-one fighter, so quite keen to get stuck into that. And then on the music front, I did grab a vinyl, ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, the greatest hits, and it's already broken my principle of just collecting, when it comes to vinyl, just collecting soundtracks, but feck it. It's a great album. Some real belters on there. Loads of familiar tracks. A lot of them, saying that, a lot of them are used in films. I'm sure. I'm trying to think. Mr. Blue Sky. That's been in a few. Is it in Being John Malkovich? That's definitely in a few films. Showdown is in. My God, is it one of the Fowley brothers? Maybe Kingpin. Telephone Line. That must be in something. But they're really, really cool. Do love them. Jeff Lynne, bit of a rock god. The only thing I hate about him is all the bloody hair he has on his head. Out of jealousy. But he can write a mean song. Him and the ELO gang. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a double. I think it's double. Gatefold vinyl, 2 discs, 4 sides, plenty of songs. So yeah, loving it. And that's it, peeps. I'll try and get out another episode before Crimbo hits us, because that's not far off now. About to go into December. So yeah, try and sneak another one in. I hope everyone's doing well. If you get a chance, chuck in a little comment. That will be fab. And always the invite is always open if you want to, like I said earlier, throw in a little advert for something you're up to, or something else you've seen you want to promote. Just give me a shout, and I'll drop me a comment, or if you've got my Instagram, drop me a message, or or you can just drop me a comment on YouTube, and then we'll work out how to chat. And that's it. Yeah, begrudgingly, as always, the prick who is Bootleg John has recorded the outro. So over to him. Cheers.
Do not forget to dislike and unsubscribe and all that uncool stuff. And by the way, the YouTube algorithm can go and kiss my old sprayed ass.